If I may, Your Honor. Sorry.
One thing I want you to honestly do, if you have any way, I think Child Protective Services needs
Okay.
to monitor that place because
Okay.
Brian is a dangerous
Eric.
person.
Eric,
He's pulled guns on me several times and shot them at me, Your Honor. I just want to, okay, maybe I'm saying too much. I don't. What time?
if you don't show up,
Oh, no, I'm
gonna have to go out and find you, and you don't want me doing that.
you'll find me quickly.
Yes, I will.
I'm not planning, I've been in this area, you'll find me.
Okay.
I'll show up.
That's called the case of the People's State of the State of Michigan versus Eric Remorse.
Good morning, Your Honor. Absolutely.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Eric Vermeulen. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Eric Vermeulen.
Your Honor, we have reached agreement in this case in exchange for a plea of guilty or no contest to count 1, assault or assault and battery, victim St. Maynard. Counts 2 and 3 will be dismissed. I've spoken with victim Brian Maynard, and he has indicated to me he's not interested in restitution for the cameras that were destroyed. They're relatively inexpensive.
That is an accurate understanding of the agreement. Mr. Vermeulen would like to accept that offer today.
So he's gonna plead no contest to count 1
Correct, Your Honor.
and then dismiss the remaining counts.
Yes, Your Honor.
May I say something, Your Honor? Just want to tell him. May I say something, Your Honor? When you get a minute.
Go ahead, Eric. I don't want you saying, my understanding, just so that it's not that I won't hear from you. I guess your counsel's indicated that you're pleading no contest, likely for the reasons of potential civil liability. Is that correct, counsel?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, and I just don't want you saying anything that's gonna mess that part of it up.
I just wanted to say, you know, ain't nothing happened. I didn't do nothing, but the man has really manipulated me.
Well,
Me to have a place.
Okay, so Eric, let me stop you. If you don't want to plead, you don't have to.
I want to plead, but I want you to know that
All right.
well, I-
Eric, stop for a minute. Is this really what you want to do?
yes, sir.
Okay. Now your counsel and you and the prosecutor, everybody's agreed that this will be a no contest plea, which means you're not saying anything about it.
Okay.
And my only concern is, sounds like you have something to say about it, but it's kind of contradictory for me.
If I may, Your Honor. Sorry.
One thing I want you to honestly do, if you have any way, I think Child Protective Services needs
Okay.
to monitor that place because
Okay,
Brian is a dangerous
Eric.
person.
Eric,
He's pulled guns on me several times and shot them at me, Your Honor. I just want to, okay, maybe I'm saying too much. I don't know. I only need a place to
Eric,
live, but I plead
Eric,
guilty.
Eric,
I
Eric,
plead
Eric,
guilty.
Eric,
That's what I
Eric,
have to say.
Eric. Listen. If you want to do this,
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
hang on, Eric. If you want to do this, then you can do this. My concern right now is with some of the things you're saying is I'm not sure that's what you really want to hold on. That's not sure that's what you really want to do.
Your Honor,
And I have to make sure that what you're doing is voluntary.
I thank the prosecutor for the offer, and this is what I want to do,
I'm
for
sorry.
sure.
This is what you want to do.
Yes, there's too much to risk, Your Honor. One thing could go
Okay,
bad,
so, yeah. Let me ask you, have you had enough time to talk to your attorney about?
yes,
this is
we
what you
we have
wanna do?
decided this is what we'd like to do, Your Honor. Pardon me.
If I may, Your Honor, when I was discussing this with Mr. Vermeulen, he did want it to be made very clear to both me and the court that he never hurt anybody. He never meant, or he never injured anybody there. And that is what he was expressing to me. And I believe that may be part of what he is expressing to the court. And he did indicate that there is, as Your Honor is aware, a long history between the complaining witness in this case and Mr. Vermeulen. And Mr. Vermeulen does state that there has been some prior incidences where he believes he has been a victim himself. And he just wants to express that. He was expressing that both to me, and I believe that is what he is expressing to the court.
I just don't want you to know that I'm not a bad person, Your Honor.
Here,
I'm very
Eric.
excited about
what-
these charges.
what-
I lost my
Eric,
friend, my
Eric,
home, everything
Eric.
I own, and my freedom.
Eric. You've been coming before me for probably near 2 decades
For some tickets.
and whatever.
You did.
At any
I'm-
given point in time, Eric, have I ever thought that you were a bad person?
No, you haven't. You said-
So why would you think that would change or have any effect on me at this point?
because there's a 12-year-old that said that I did this. That would,
Okay,
that's wrong.
I get it, Eric. All right. But Eric, as a human being, and I tell you this, and I told you this before, I don't think you're a bad person.
Thank
Even
you,
there
Your
are
Honor.
people, but listen, there are people that come here and they're not bad people. They may have done a bad thing. I don't know, right? At one point, but that doesn't make them a bad person. Okay? So if that's your worry, Eric, you don't need to worry about that. You don't need to worry that somehow or another I'm just gonna think you turned into this evil person. I don't think that.
Thank you. That's the only reason I would want to fight this, to show you different, but I appreciate the prosecutor making me this offer so that we can possibly get this over and I can move on.
Okay, so Eric, I'll ask you again. You
Yes, sir.
want to enter this plea?
Yes, sir.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, state your name for the record.
Eric Anthony Vermeulen.
All right, you can put your hand down. All right. Eric, it's this court's understanding that you're going to plead no contest to the charge of assault and or assault and battery. That's a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you understand what a no contest plea is?
Yes, sir.
All right. 2 things about it I have to make sure that you understand. The first thing is that it means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest this charge. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Second thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court is going to treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So understanding all of that, do you still wish to plead no contest?
Yes, sir.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty. Guilty or no contest? No contest?
All right. Do you understand that by pleading no contest, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, sir.
All right. You signed an advice of rights form, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions regarding any of the rights on that form?
No, sir.
On the podium, you'll see a copy of one. Look at paragraph 5. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading no contest, you're giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes, sir.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal outright.
Yes, sir.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, sir.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plea?
No, sir.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, sir.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes, sir.
and of your own free will.
Sir.
Court has been provided Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety report for their case 24-12936. Any objection to the court having reviewed that report?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of the offense as contained in count 1. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule, and would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
People are satisfied.
Defense is satisfied, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 1. Counts 2 and 3 are dismissed. Defendants referred to probation, pre-sentence investigation and report. Sentencing in this matter will be
October 9th at 9 a.m.
October 9th, 2024, 9 a.m.
What's going on?
Anything further?
Oh,
Nothing from the people.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Count 2 and 3 dismissed, Your Honor.
Yes, they are. All right. Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Your
thank
Honor.
you, Your Honor.
All right.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate and on behalf of Mr. Vermeulen, who stands to my right, please state your name for the record, sir.
Eric Anthony Vermeulen.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Where are we on this?
Thank you, Your Honor. Today's the date and time set for sentencing on both matters. We have reviewed the PSIR and we have no material changes or corrections. And we would ask to adopt or to address the recommendation briefly when appropriate.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have reviewed the recommendation to understand it as well as the probation recommendation. We are asking that the court considering sentencing Mr. Vermeulen to 68 days on each case, credit 68 served, during the alternate 93 days, credit for 68 and the balance to be suspended. As Your Honor is very aware of Mr. Vermeulen as well as these cases, and he has been in custody for some time. He does have some housing instability at this time. I have been able to talk to some of his relatives. At this point, it is not a guarantee whether or not he will be able to stay with them. Yesterday, I was able to talk to another family friend of his who may be able to actually take him in. However, at this point, it looks like Mr. Vermeulen would be staying in a shelter, and he does have concerns. We talked in great length about the recommendation. He doesn't want to violate probation. He has no, I guess I should say, issue with attending MRT, but he had thought out how he has a bike, how he might have to take it in the winter, where he would have to be riding his bike the way over here, and he might miss a class, and then of course he would be in violation status of his probation. He is not very much, we had a long conversation about this, me and Mr. Vermeulen. I personally did not get the impression he was trying to avoid getting sentenced to probation. As Your Honor is aware, I have a lot of those conversations with people who don't want to do probation. Mr. Vermeulen really just is dealing with a lot right now. His long time in custody has made things worse, so to speak, and we're asking that the court consider sentencing him to time served or in the alternate suspended additional sentence.
Aaron, anything
Please.
you want to tell me?
You know, after the altercation with Brian, he apologized to me for what he did and took me up, bought me some cigarettes and a breeze pen and a pop. Then he had me arrested and I lost my place and everything. And I didn't do nothing. I did run from the cops. I was scared. Wasn't even thinking about it, what I was doing. Can you please give me time to serve? I have an extreme amount of difficulty when I get out of here. Regrouping, getting me a place. I plan not to break the law. I did not with Brian. I didn't hurt the guy. The guy was very mean to me, but I needed a place to live. And this is what he did. All he had to do was ask me to leave. He did not have to do this to me. I'm very sad. Because now I'm gonna be a bum in society. He made me lose everything, now my self-respect. It's gonna be very hard. I'm gonna suffer quite a lot to get going. I'm gonna try to do it. But the guy was very wrong in what he did. Very wrong. And I should not have run from the cops. I was just didn't, I don't even know why I did. I just don't think I was mentally there. I just don't know what happened. I still don't know what happened. I just know I'm here and I know I'm very lucky. I'm had people working with me to this point, trying to keep me out of jail. I don't belong in jail.
Ms.
Your
Pellet.
Honor, may counsel I approach?
Okay. Anything else you want to say, Eric?
No, sir.
All right. And here's what I'm gonna do. However long we've been dealing with each other. Right? And you always ask me for something, and I always tell you no, and we do it my way, right?
Yes, sir.
That's just how we work. So here's what I'm gonna do. You're gonna be able to get yourself out. What I'm worried about more than anything with you, Eric, is that you find housing. I'm really, just listen to me. I'm worried about that. Because if you recall, 2 of the previous cases that you had with me really result from you not being housed because you were trying to survive. I mean, and I get it. But I think if you can get yourself housed, or at least give a shot at getting yourself housed, then I think things can look a little bit better for you.
I have no choice. I have to do something. My plan is to get right as soon as I get out of here. I'm going past McDonald's. I'm putting in an app right away.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go up there every day and pound their head until I get a job. And I'm gonna make some money and I'm gonna put it down on a room or something. I'll give me a place.
Okay.
I've always took care of myself.
Okay. So here's what has to happen. You're gonna get out, but I want you to come back to court on Friday so that you can talk to a Friday afternoon, so that you can talk with someone. That's when I have my housing docket. And I want you to talk with someone just to give you resources and places that you can don't. Eric, what did I just tell you?
Yeah, sure.
And you're gonna start talking,
Go ahead.
and I'm gonna tell you we're gonna do it my way. Right?
No, yeah, I was just saying I did talk to somebody while I was in jail concerning this.
I know. Who was that?
They were 2 ladies from. Yeah, right. I got you.
Yeah. So Friday afternoon, you're gonna come down here. We'll know that you're here, and then I'm gonna have you talk with somebody and let them get some information, get you resources. Okay?
Sounds okay. Good. Yeah. What time?
If you don't show up,
Oh no, I'm
I'm gonna have to go out and find you, and you don't want me doing that.
You'll find me quickly.
Yes, I will.
I'm not planning. I've been in this area. You'll find me.
Okay.
I'll show up.
So here's what we'll do, Eric. And I'm going to follow these recommendations because, Eric, the other thing is you got people here that when you run into a difficulty, you can rely on. Sometimes when you're out there by yourself, you're not making the best decisions. Okay. So when things come across and you got to try to figure out what to do, you can give us a call. Okay.
I think I had mentioned that to Teresa, that it's good to have someone on your side. That could
And
probably
that's
help.
why I'm not just sentencing you to time served. Yes, it is a good thing sometimes. And it's something you need, particularly right now. Okay?
Okay,
All right. So on the case ending in 1064, sentence of the court, 18 months probation, $555 fines and costs payable as directed by probation.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, one more thing. Is there anything on them fines? Like I worked 356 hours for the jail. Is there anything you can do on the fines? I worked hard up in that kitchen, scrubbing and cleaning and scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing. Can you do anything on the fines? Just so I could get some money going? I'm gonna need a lot of money to get going. I don't have any clothes. I have nothing.
Eric, you've been dealing with me how many years? Been over a decade.
You know,
When it comes down to you surviving or being out there and the money that you owe the court, which have I really cared about?
taking care of business.
You taking care of business. All right. You're going to work with probation. We'll realize where you are financially. We'll deal with it. Got it?
Got it.
I'm going to, on that case, waive the probation oversight fees. You comply with the terms that I'm about to set forth in the other case that ending in 1056. I'll order 365 days in jail, credit 68, serve. The balance on that is suspended. On the other matter, place you on 18 months probation, $555 fines and court costs, $360 probation oversight fees that will be payable as directed by probation. There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as directed by probation. You are to complete the MRT program or a comparable program. There's to be no contact with Brian Maynard or Zane Maynard, no going to the residence or employment of those individuals, no assaulting, threatening, or intimidating behavior. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, ammunition, or anything fashioned to be a weapon. You're to begin and maintain employment with proof to probation. I'll order 93 days in jail, credit 68, serve, the balance suspended. On this case, I'm just going to add a 12 defendant to report to 14A1 courtroom on October 11th, 2024 at 1 p.m.
Then when do I report to probation?
Well, you got to go to probation, but what did I just tell you? I need you here Friday at 1 p.m.
Yes,
so that you can talk to them about housing, okay? And then work with Valera when you got to go to probation. All right,
okay.
Eric, I want you to keep in touch with Miss Valera as to where you are. Okay. You hear me?
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Eric, there's no hurry. You're gonna call me when you get out. We'll get things set up and I'll help you, okay? All right.